What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today in this video, guys, I want to explain to you guys my thoughts on algo stablecoins and why they are going to take over the market. First, I'm going to explain there's 5 different stablecoins that you can currently use in the market, explain the different thoughts on them, and tell how they can help in DeFi, and then explain my ending thoughts. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'll try to keep this video short. First, I want to talk to you guys about, USDC and USDT. What are they? Well, basically all it is $1 worth of quote unquote USDC is worth $1 worth of whatever asset that it is backing it. It can be paper bonds or paper bonds, actual money, paper money. I mean, there's different things that can back it. There's other ones like Pax Gold, which are actually backed by gold. So $1 worth of Pax G is backed by $1 worth of gold. Those are centralized, something to keep in mind. If you use centralized coins in DeFi, how decentralized is your DeFi really? Especially if they can freeze the assets. So that's a problem. So we kind of got to throw those out using them in DeFi. We just can't use them. Now you have MakerDAO. This is basically saying, all right, so you deposit this certain amount of ETH and we'll mint you a certain amount of DAI. However, it's not capital efficient. So it's not a $1 to $1 ratio. In fact, for Ethereum, I think the current rate is like 130% or 140%. And this is something important to keep in mind. What does this mean? Well, this means if you have one Ethereum and it's worth $4,000, if you are to go to Maker, you basically can deposit your Ethereum and you can pull out maybe $2,800 as a loan. That is not capital efficient at all. That's horrible, actually. That's like going to the store or going to, a pawn shop. It's like going to a pawn shop, giving a $1,000 item and saying, hey, look, let me pawn this off. I'll take the risk that if the value goes down or if I don't pay my loans on time, I can get liquidated and lose all my assets. And instead, I'll just take, in exchange, $600. So basically, if you weren't to make those payments, or in DeFi, if Ethereum was to go way down, you can sell your ETH at a super cheap price, which you probably don't want to do. Now, MakerDAO was like, you know what? We'll make more capital efficient ones. We will do USDC. And it's like 110%. So you deposit one USDC, you can mint $100 worth of USDC, will get you $90 in DAI. Well, why would I want to give someone $100 in exchange for $90? I don't know, some people want to do it, some people like DAI better, and some vaults and protocols only accept DAI, but there's an issue with that. How decentralized are you if you're using a centralized stablecoin? Not very much, you're still centralized. It's like 0 times 0. What's 0 times 0? 0. It's the same junk, different day. Now that is the collateral backed coins. However, again, they are not capital efficient, so that is a issue. Now the third one is a fully backed algo stablecoin of just thin air, fully backed. What do I mean by this? Let's take for example something like Terra Luna. Terra Luna works like this. In order to mint $1 worth of UST, you burn $1 worth of Luna. Well, what's the value of Luna? It's worth what someone says it's worth. Again, I'm not fudding Luna, guys. I love Luna. In fact, on this channel, I'm super bullish Luna and algo stablecoins, but I'm just explaining to you guys a couple of concepts and just kind of letting you know this is what's on the table. So, in order to mint $1 worth of UST, you burn $1 worth of Luna, and they use arbitrage to keep the price intact. So what they do is, say for example, USD goes to $1.10. You burn $1 worth of Luna for $1 in UST, and you can sell it for the arbitrage, which will bring the price down. Remember, red button goes down, green button goes up, regardless of if it's stable coins or not. So that is how you can understand the algo stablecoin. There are other ones as well, but Terra Luna is my favorite, and that is just an example I want to give. Now the next algo stablecoin I want to talk about is partially algo stablecoin. What is that? Well, that's Frax. So what it does is it allows the market to tell how much is algo backed. If it's too much algo backed, what will happen, aka Frax price goes below $1, people will mint more FXS by burning Frax, and then the opposite is true as well. Now, I believe this protocol started around 99% backed by an actual quote-unquote stablecoin or an actual asset like Ethereum, And then eventually over time, right now they're about 82% backed by just collateral, and the rest is just thin air, which is FXS. Now there's nothing wrong with it, but the reason why algo stablecoins are needed is because they're more capital efficient. If you go into something that's like MakerDAO, you're turning $100, depending on what you deposit. Let's just use the USDC and DAI example. Who wants to give $100 and get $90 in exchange? No one wants to do that. You want to give someone $100 and get $100 in exchange. This is where algo stablecoins come into play. However, the problem with algo stablecoins is it's only held up by other people believing the same thing. However, if someone loses the faith, there's something called a bank run. I'm not saying there's going to be a bank run on Terra Luna, but that is the fear of algo stablecoins. It's similar to the US dollar. It's an algo stablecoin. The money is printed out of thin air. If there's a bank run, if you actually look in several different articles, and I mean, they even stated it. And if you deposit funds into our bank, we have the right to not have any money in here, is TLDR on what it says. Basically, if you deposit $100, we have to keep 0% of that in the bank at any time. So what that means is if everyone in the United States, or let's just say 10%, just went to go withdraw their money from the bank, there would be a bank run. There would be not enough money to withdraw from the register. That is basically what the US dollar is banking on. It's banking on a promise. There's nothing wrong with it as long as it's working. So that is something to factor in and understand. Like, why would you want the US dollar, which is also like an algo stablecoin? They have the rules to print as much as they can, and there's no arbitrage that's taking place. And in my opinion, if you're holding US dollar, I mean, take a look at Terra Luna. Not financial advice, and of course the government is backing the US dollar and the army and so on. So that's a little bit different, but just keep that in mind. Let that sink in. If 10% or even 5% of the United States went to go get their cash, what would happen to the dollar? It would be a bank run. Now that you understand the different types of stablecoins, which are the best? Okay, there are going to be multiple stablecoins that come out of this quote-unquote stablecoin decentralization, whatever you want to call it. It's just a thesis I have. The thesis of decentralized stablecointivity. We're going to flock towards decentralized stablecoins. They can be something like Maker. However, Maker is centralized because it's using USDC. So I'm not really going to factor that in, but people may still be fooled by that. But hey, it's okay. It is what it is. People believe in USDC and USDT, and that's what holds their value. Just as long as you understand, they can freeze it at any time. Now, UST being fully backed, you have the risk of a bank run. Keep in mind with these stablecoins, they run that risk when they are smaller. So when they fake it till they make it, as in like they get a very high market cap, it's a lot easier to sustain. What do I mean by this? Well, if I sell $1 billion worth of UST, it will have a price effect on it, as in like the price will go down if I sell it, because red button goes down, green button goes up. The reason why I say that is because there's only about 10 billion, actually there's over 10 billion UST. So if I sold $1 billion worth of it, that's 10% of the supply. So it will affect it. Now with USDT, you will not see it as much, because if I sell $1 billion worth of USDT, the market cap is way higher. It's like 70 billion or something like that. So it's going to have less of an effect. That's how you can factor it in. So with these algo stablecoins, they run the risk of starting out a bad start, because if you can't fake it till you make it, you'll never make it. Now, this is why Frax Finance took the middle. So the middle is doing some algo and some collateral backed. I'm not saying this is the solution, but I'm trying to explain to you guys what is out there. There are different stablecoins that are going to be used. Some will believe in Frax, some UST, and then others will be fooled into things like USDC and USDT until when they get frozen, and then they get a wake-up call and they're like, what the snap? You can't have DeFi with centralized stablecoins, because any and everyone can freeze it just like that. I know you're asking yourself, what is the middle ground? Yes, there is a middle ground. There's a coin called Frax. Of course, I'm not saying like Frax is the way to go, but what I'm explaining is they have a very novel concept, because remember, you have to fake it till you make it with these stablecoins. It's similar to something like gold. What's the value of gold? Like, why is it priced so high? I can just use silver instead of gold. Well, the reason why it's priced so high is because everyone over time has said it's that price. Gold is more well, I guess not more capital efficient, but it's more efficient. Like, would you rather say, hey, look, here's a cow, or would you rather say, hey, here's a bar of gold? It was the transaction of money. They didn't have the ability to say, hey, this piece of paper is worth it. Except they did come up with something that was just like promissory notes saying, like, hey, if you carry this note, you'll be able to exchange it for gold and so on. And yes, they did have that type of solution, but before that was made, people had to carry around bars of gold. So in my opinion, Frax is actually taking a middle ground. So what Frax does is they do this. It is not fully algo backed. It's only a percentage. And it allows the market to tell how much is fully algo backed or how much is algo backed. The goal is to hit 100% algo backed. However, it may not always do that. And this is how the protocol works. Say, for example, Frax is trading at $1.10. What someone can do is they can take some FXS, burn it with a certain amount of USDC, depending on the percentage. Right now, it's about 83% USDC and 17% FXS to be able to mint $1 worth of Frax. Why do they want to mint $1 worth of Frax? Well, because there's an arbitrage opportunity out there. When it's over $1.10, or actually over $1.01, anyone can go to the protocol and mint $1 worth of Frax with quote unquote $1 worth of USDC or any of the other coins that they use and FXS. It's not just USDC, they use other coins as well. So it's actually algo backed and it's collateral backed. So it's not fully algo. And this is important because if there is a quote unquote bank run, there are assets to back it. So people are like, oh, what the snap? Okay, well, we still have money here. A good example of this is Iron Finance. You guys remember when Iron Finance got wrecked and Titan just went to zero? You could still get 75 cents worth of USDC for your iron, even when Titan failed. It's because it was still backed by 75% USDC. That's how you can look at an algo stablecoin. So just wanted to throw that on the table for you guys so you guys can understand it. I wonder if gold is like an algo store of value. Because really, why can't I just say silver is that? Because over time, it's God's money. He really decided it. But over time, that's why people flock to gold, is because it's been proven. Now, the US dollar, so far, it's been proven well. That's why people can flock to it. It's only been proven for about 300 years. Gold and silver, on the other hand, as long as you can imagine. Talk about all these algo stable coins. Like, what's up? In my opinion, I have a thesis that we are going to have a decentralized stablecoin future. There's a problem with using something like Maker over collateralized stablecoins because it's not capital efficient. In this world, as you can see, as markets got more and more efficient, they went to something like the dollar. Before, it was like trading a cow for a sheep and doing all kinds of garbage. But as more and more time progresses, you become more advanced. You go into things like, well, one-to-one algo stablecoins, instead of things like, well, hey, we're going to back it with collateral just in case. We got to over collateralize it so it does not get liquidated. Yes, centralized stablecoins were a quick fix to that. But again, guys, centralized stablecoins are not the way to go, in my opinion. Not financial advice, because, well, they have the issue of being frozen. Now, algo stablecoins, I don't know which one will win. They even have something like Ampleforth. Ampleforth is a rebasing coin. Instead of being pegged to the dollar, they say, hey, look, if you hold 10% of Ample, you will always hold 10% of Ample. Whether it goes above price or below price, whatever. They make so many different things, but TLDR on these guys, you need to look for two things. One is community. Two, you need to look for ones that fake it till they make it. If they have a very, very low market cap, be scared. Because if a whale, or quote unquote someone with like 10%, 20% of the supply, they go to sell it, that's going to destroy the price. With these algo stable coins or with these different coins, if it's not holding peg, everyone's going to be scared of it. Just take a look at some of this decentralized stable coins or stable coins that failed. USDC and USDT hold their peg, so people trust in it. It's just like the dollar. People trust in the dollar because they realize they can always use their dollar at different stores in different places. However, in other countries, I'm sure other people watching this YouTube video are from other countries, they realize this this junk's trash. I need a better way. That's why you're watching this video, because you realize, oh, cryptocurrency might be the way. If you guys want to know about the different algo stablecoins I'm looking at, feel free to join the Discord. There's a link in the description below. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advice, but if you like videos like this and concepts like this, I talk about more things on Discord than I do on YouTube, and I'm in there like every single day. Well, not like, I am there every single day. Let's go ahead and leave you guys with a wisdom one-line. We're in Proverbs chapter 14, verses 19. Evildoers will bow down in the presence of the good, and the wicked at the gates of righteousness. Amen to that. You guys can also catch me on tweeters. It's at rent a home fast, like literally at rent a home fast.